Welcome to another edition of World Talks here on TVP World. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee, and please join me and my guests on this next interview. Now today, Poland marks the National Day of Fighting Depression, created in 2001 to break stigma and remind people that depression is a serious illness of both mind and body. With estimates suggesting around 1.2 million people in Poland live with depression, early recognition and evidence-based care matter more than slogans. Joining us today on TVP World to talk prevention, treatment, and support is Maria Flak, psychologist from Psychologia.pl, a practicing psychologist who works with adolescents and adults. Hello and welcome to TVP World. So there's actually plenty that I wish to unpack here, but first, can you help us understand what are some of the earliest warning signs of depression, and what are some things that people tend to normalize or explain away?
Okay, so this is a very important question because it's really important that as a psychologist, I don't have one simple answer to this question, because it depends. It depends because every person will have another first signs of depression. So one person will feel like they have a lack of motivation, and the other one will be feeling like they have to work more and more. So it depends. So it's really important that we need to take focus on ourselves and ask if I'm feeling different right now.
Right. What you mentioned, I think, is very important part of why this gets explained away or overlooked, because it takes shape in so many different ways, yes. Right? Like you mentioned, some people might feel less motivated, but some people actually would work a little bit more. Yeah?
Yes, they will work a little bit more because they will feeling like I have some really weird thoughts in my mind, so I need to focus on something else to avoid this thinking. So that's why a lot of people start to work more, or taking care of am I productive enough, and start to. It's really dangerous because it can be the beginning of the workaholic, for example.
Right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that what the high-functioning depression means? Being like borderline workaholic, or using like working as a way to avoid some of the issues?
Yes, it's kind of like that. It's really important that you said to avoid something. So this is really dangerous when we are trying to do something just to avoid our thinking, not focus on them and find normal, healthy solutions, but to start making some coping mechanism that just helping us to avoid this thinking. But it's just for a moment. It won't be constant.
Right. If you don't treat the underlying issue, however much you try to cover it up, it's not going to go away, right?
No.
And,
no.
But on the flip end of things, you also mentioned, of course, people that are more typically depressed. We imagine them as being sad. But how do you differentiate people who perhaps are just going through a rough time with those who are clinically depressed?
Yes, this is also really important, because it's a really big difference between having a bad day or a bad week or even a bad month and having a depression, because as you said at the beginning, depression is a really dangerous mental illness, and this is really important that we have to see the differences between that and how we can see it. We can see that, okay, sometimes you can have a tough moment at work, or you have maybe you have a breakup, or you have just a difficult situation at your life. That's normal that you are not feeling as well as usual. But if this state of mind is staying with you all the time, and you doesn't have nothing else to do, and you are just thinking about that this is a moment where you should stay for a moment and thinking this is normal, or maybe I should ask for help.
So a lot of work is also done internally, right? But externally, do you think it's possible, or how do we go about recognizing if people around us, or family or loved ones, are going through depression?
So again, it depends, because we have to take a look for ourselves or people that we know for ages of something like that. And if we are seeing that they are acting different, and we are seeing that something can be wrong, we shouldn't be afraid to ask them. Is everything okay? Do you need my help? And if it depends on us, we need to ask ourselves, or are feeling okay? Maybe I should ask for help. Maybe I should talk about the stuff that's going on in my head. So the most important thing is to ask others and ask ourselves if we are seeing some differences in our behaviors.
Right. So today is the Polish National Day of Fighting Depression, and I would like to use this opportunity to dispel some of the stigmas as well. But before that, can you help me understand what is it currently like in Poland? Do you think the depression still has a negative connotation or something taboo that makes them not want to seek help?
Yes, I think, unfortunately, yes, there still are some myths and some wrong connection between depression and state of mind. Sometimes people thinking that depression is because of a laziness, or sometimes people are thinking, okay, depression is just a normal state of mind, you just need to go for a walk or go for a run or to be more productive and everything will be good. So unfortunately, we still have some thoughts in Poland like that. Mm-hmm. But it's changing. From a year to year, it's a better situation, but I wouldn't say that we are done.
Right. And do you think the other end of the issue also exists, where there's self-diagnosis of people who come in with self-diagnosed depression who could probably just use a better day?
I think also it depends, but I think we should be very curious about that and not giving really easy diagnosis. And if you are feeling that something can be wrong, the best way is go to the doctor and they will diagnose us.
Yeah, definitely better safe than sorry. Right?
Yes, yes.
And you advocate a lot about evidence-based treatment, and today in this day and age, I'm curious about what evidence-based treatment works best and what typically determines what's the right fit, be it therapy, medication, or both.
Sorry for saying that. Also, it depends, because the doctor will say that maybe you just need a few sessions with a psychologist and everything will be okay because you will be take care of your minds and set it up. But in the other situation, when you have a more and when you are more suffer from depression, something like that, there will be really needs to take also psychological sessions and therapy, like medicine therapy.
I think the key word, the key word that we keep using is it depends, and I think that also tells us about how individual depression can become, right? Yes. And do you think that there's something in the environmental factor that could be beneficial for people who are suffering through it, some sort of movement or a tighter social bond, or just having friends and loved ones around?
I don't think it's a one solution, as I said, but I think having close relations with others, it will definitely help us, and also like fighting with the thinking that I need to take care of me by myself. It's not a weakness to ask for help. Mm-hmm.
And speaking of asking for help, when do you think someone should first seek help, and who do you think the first line of contact should be?
Also, it depends, because sometimes you just need to find a person that you are feeling the most comfortable with. So it's your mother, go talk to your mother. If it's your dad, go talk to your dad. If you are a student and you are feeling comfortable with teacher at your school, talk to them. So don't look for the perfect option, just think about with who I'm feeling the most comfortable and ask them for help.
All right. Now, we're looking at this estimate about 1.2 million in Poland living with depression. Mm-hmm. That is a staggering number. In the foreseeable future, do you see that number going up or down?
I hope that it will go down, but I cannot guarantee that. So I'm just hoping that talking about depression and fighting with the myths about depression will help us to avoid that, but it's not that easy.
Right. Again, there's a lot going into this, mm-hmm. right? And people are all very individualistic, and how what works for one person might not for mm-hmm. the other. But if we are to look at this number and try to see what are some of the factors that is contributing to this high number, or perhaps a lowering of the number, what would you say is some of the more contributing environmental factors?
So something that will not help us with taking this number down, it will be thinking that we have nowadays really trying to be the best version of ourselves, and it's not that easy because being the best version of ourselves, it's often going with being so productive and doesn't stop for a while, and being like the best version for me at work, for me at sports, for me at socializing. So it's really important for us to understand how we should rest, right. Because people are forgetting that nowadays we also need to have a time to rest and for settle down.
Right, and this kind of fear of missing out, yes. And always wanting to optimize everything really makes it very hard to live a normal life.
Yes, yes.
Well, thank you so much for your input and insight. Really appreciate it, and thanks for being with us on TVP World.
Thank you.
Cheers. And thank you for tuning into this edition of World Talks. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.